On 28th July, the Supreme Court Collegium put out a statement. It approved the names of 3 lawyers to be elevated as judges of the Bombay High Court. One of them is Aarti Sathe. She's a senior lawyer and someone who has mainly dealt in tax-related cases for over 20 years. But her proposed elevation as a judge has stoked up a political controversy. Here's why. Aarti Sathe was formerly part of the Bhartiya Janata Party till 2024. The opposition has flagged this, saying her appointment as a judge would be an attack on the Indian constitution. The Bhartiya Janata Party has dismissed the opposition's allegations, saying Sathe's name has been approved by the Collegium based on merit and that she is no more part of the BJP. Meanwhile, a former judge of the Bombay High Court has said that the Collegium led by Chief Justice of India B.R. Gawande must rethink its decision. So who exactly is Aarti Sathe? What do the rules on appointment of judges say? And what is the primary objection here? Hello and welcome, I'm Shubham Chohan. Let's get started. Now let's start with who Aarti Sathe is and what her background is before we get into the controversy at hand. So Aarti Sathe comes from a family of lawyers. Her mother, Kranti Sathe, is a well-known family court lawyer, and her father, Arun Sathe, is a senior lawyer who has dealt with tax-related cases. Now, incidentally, Aarti's father, Arun Sathe, has been part of the RSS and the Bhartiya Janata Party in the past, and he's even been a member of the BJP's national executive. Mr. Sathe is the brother of former BJP MP Sumitra Mahajan, and in an interview to Business Standard in 2015, Arun Sathe called himself an RSS and BJP man. Notably, in the same interview, he did not deny that his appointment as part-time SEBI board member was because of his BJP connections. Now, over to Aarti Sathe. The Times of India reported that Aarti Sathe has worked in the chambers of senior lawyer Percy Pardiawala in the past. As a noted lawyer on taxation laws, she has worked on several cases before the Bombay High Court. On the political front, a simple Google search shows that Aarti Sathe has appeared on several TV channels as a spokesperson of the Mumbai BJP, and these TV debates date back to as early as 2017-2018. Sathe too confirmed being a part of the BJP at one point. A screenshot being circulated purportedly from her LinkedIn profile shows that she was appointed as spokesperson of the Maharashtra BJP in February 2023. But in January 2024, she decided to quit the party. And here are the 2 resignation letters on your screen. These are dated 6th January 2024. One of this is addressed to Ashish Shelar, who is Mumbai BJP chief and Maharashtra's IT minister. And the other is addressed to Chandrasekhar Bawankule, who was Maharashtra BJP's chief at that point in time. Now, Aarti Sathe quit the primary membership of the party and also the posts of the state BJP spokesperson and head of the Mumbai BJP's legal cell. Sathe cited personal and professional reasons for the same. Fast forward to July 2025, here we are, with the Supreme Court Collegium recommending her name as a judge at the Bombay High Court. The Nationalist Congress Party of Sharad Chandra Pawar, which is one of the opposition parties in Maharashtra, flagged this proposed elevation and this green signal by the Supreme Court Collegium, saying that this was an assault on the independence of the judiciary. Here's what their national spokesperson, Anish Gawande, told HW News English.
I think I trust the wisdom of the justices of the Supreme Court and the Collegium and the ways in which they might have come upon this decision. I trust that the Chief Justice of India will also introspect upon this matter. But on the face of it, to have somebody who has been the spokesperson of a political party, who has been the head of a legal cell of a political party until just a year ago, becoming a judge of the Bombay High Court, one of the most venerated high courts in this country, seems incredibly concerning. At the end of the day, the government holds the power it does today. They have absolute majority in Maharashtra and then some. They have a majority with their alliance partners at the center. So at the end of the day, they can do as they wish. But the hypocrisy of a government that does not consider the judiciary of this country to be a pillar of democracy is what we're seeking to expose. And I hope that wisdom prevails not just upon the courts, but also upon the government, because unfortunately, this is not just about an individual. It is about a system. And any political party that cares about the future of this country will not imperil the independence of the judiciary. This is an incredibly short-sighted decision. It is an incredibly sort of myopic decision. And we hope that the BJP realizes that it will harm them in the long run as much as it will harm everyone else. Because at the end of the day, regardless of whether they're in power or not, the BJP must also remember that they're Indian citizens.
The BJP on its part has criticized the opposition for making baseless allegations. The party has made two broad arguments in its defense. Now, the first defense is that Sathe is no more part of the BJP, that she had resigned in 2024, like we just showed you, and the Supreme Court Collegium's decision is not influenced by any political party. Rather, it is based on merit. The second argument that the BJP has given is that this is not the first time that a lawyer, senior lawyer with a political background, is being made a judge. In fact, here's what Maharashtra BJP's chief spokesperson Keshav Upadhyay said on social media platform X. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi was recently commented upon by the Supreme Court, and immediately Congress and its ecosystem began blaming the judiciary of the country. This is the context in which objections are being raised about the recommendation of Aarti Sathe. In reality, Aarti Sathe had severed all ties with the BJP 2 years ago. Yet, objections are still being raised based on her former political affiliations. In this country, there have been examples where Congress MPs became judges and then went back to being MPs again. The court has clearly stated that many individuals associated with political backgrounds have been appointed to the judiciary in the past as well. Therefore, political association cannot be the sole reason for disqualification. Which brings us to the next question. How are High Court judges appointed? The answer lies in Article 217 of the Indian Constitution. This article says that judges of a High Court shall be appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice of India, the Chief Justice of that High Court, and the Governor of the state. Now, the criteria to become a High Court judge in India are two. One, that the person must be a citizen of India, obviously, and two, have at least 10 years of experience as a judicial officer in the country, or 10 years as an advocate in a High Court. Now, the first level at which the names are shortlisted for being a High Court judge is done by the High Court Collegium. This comprises the Chief Justice of that High Court along with the senior-most judges, two senior-most judges. The High Court Collegium, through a consultative process, shortlists names of those who can be elevated, senior lawyers who can be elevated as judges. Now, of course, the legal acumen of the senior lawyer, their merit, integrity, background, all of this is also supposed to be taken into consideration. The High Court Collegium then sends the recommendation to the Supreme Court Collegium. Then, the Supreme Court Collegium, comprising the Chief Justice of India and 4 senior-most judges of the Supreme Court, would approve or reject these names. If approved, the names would then be sent to the government. Once the government gives the green signal, the President of India formally appoints these judges. In fact, it's called the Memorandum of Procedure, and we'll play that document on the screen for you because it lists down the detailed process of appointing judges as far as High Court and even Supreme Court are concerned. One of the bits that it talks about as far as High Court judges is concerned is that if the Chief Minister desires to recommend the name of any person, he should forward the same to the Chief Justice for his consideration. And it's a long document. It goes on to list the process as far as the appointment of judges is concerned. And net, if Aarti Sathe, a former BJP spokesperson's name, has been given the green signal by the Supreme Court Collegium, the question that the opposition is asking whether adequate background checks have been done. Now, you see, Aarti Sathe is not the only one. History is full of examples of how the lines between judiciary and politics have blurred, how lawyers have become politicians, then gone back to judiciary in some cases, and then even come back to politics. Here are some of the examples for you. One is Justice Krishna Iyer. Justice Iyer began his legal practice in 1938 before taking the political route. In 1952, he was elected to the Madras Legislative Assembly. In 1957, after having been re-elected again, Justice Iyer was part of the Kerala government led by the communists at the time. EMS Namboodiripad was the Chief Minister of Kerala. And Justice Iyer held portfolios like home, law, and pension in this cabinet. In 1968, he was appointed as a judge of the Kerala High Court and then elevated to the Supreme Court in the year 1973. The other example is Justice Baharul Islam. He was elected to the Rajya Sabha by the Congress Party. In 1972, he quit the Rajya Sabha to become a judge in the Guwahati High Court, where he eventually retired as the Chief Justice. He was later recalled and then made or appointed as a judge of the Supreme Court. Now, he subsequently resigned from the Supreme Court to contest elections as a Congress Party candidate, and then he was re-elected to the Rajya Sabha as well. More recently, in 2023, Victoria Gowri was appointed as an additional judge of the Madras High Court, and this was met with a lot of anger, a lot of controversy over this appointment, because Gowri had headed the party's women wing, that is the BJP's women wing in Kerala, and even served as National Secretary. She also allegedly made controversial remarks against Muslims and Christians that too drew a lot of flack. In 2023, defending Justice Gauri's appointment, then Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, said that one should not be disabled from being appointed to a high judicial office for views expressed as a member of a political party or the clients she appeared for as a lawyer. Chandrachud said that judicial appointments were a broad-based collaborative process in which no one arm of the state has a decisive role to play. However, a former judge of the Bombay High Court we spoke to concerning this Aarti Sathe controversy said that appointing judges with political backgrounds will hamper the judiciary, the image of the judiciary, which is supposed to be impartial.
कि वो बीजेपी की प्रवक्ता थी, तो उनकी क्या आइडियोलॉजी है, वहां बैठ के वो क्या करने वाली है, इसका तो हम सबको अंदाज है, हम सब कि एक्सपेक्टेड क्या है इम्पार्शियल जुडिशरी। इम्पार्शियल जुडिशरी के लिए जज का बैकग्राउंड देखा जाता है, वो कहां से आया, वो क्या कर रहा है, क्या करता था। अरे वो बेला त्रिवेदी ने वही किया, ये बेटी साठे वही करने वाली है। ऐसा तो हमें संशय तो है, शंका तो है, क्योंकि उनका बैकग्राउंड आरएसएस का, भाजपा का है। तो इसलिए ये बिल्कुल गलत है उनको अपॉइंट करना। ये गलती करी है, और ये कॉलेजियम जब गलती करता है तो कुछ तो प्रेशर है। सबको लगता है इंडिपेंडेंट जुडिशरी होनी चाहिए, इम्पार्शियल जजमेंट आनी चाहिए। आ रहे क्या? नहीं आ रहे। 1960 का उदाहरण दे रहा है। 60 का क्या जरूरत करना है कि एक जज पहले पॉलिटिक्स में थे, कृष्णायर भी थे, देखो कृष्णायर की जजमेंट क्या है।
So what happens next? As of now, Aarti Sathe's name has been recommended by the Supreme Court Collegium. She hasn't been officially appointed yet. The Modi government, of course, will have to take a final call on this, following which she will be made as an official judge of the Bombay High Court. When HW News English contacted Aarti Sathe, she declined to comment on this matter. That's all we have for this report though. Thanks for watching.